Hello, welcome to another film review. Today's film is going to be Captain America Civil War, which is very exciting because I do love a Marvel film. Actually, to be honest, I love anything that's a comic book film, I'm not going to lie. Marvel, DC, anything, they're all good in my book. So yeah, today's offering is Marvel's newest film. It brings together the main members? You could say main members of the Avengers, the new Avengers. Probably the only major characters that aren't in this film are the Hulk and Thor, which is because they will be in Ragnarok, which is the next Thor film. It's kind of going to be a buddy film somehow. I'm not sure how, but you know, got things to look forward to. So yeah, this film is kind of a bridging of films. It's after the events of Age of Ultron, but it's obviously before we're going to get Infinity War. Like I said, the Thor film, Doctor Strange, of course, which will play a part in it. So yeah, it was gonna kind of bridge a gap, but it was highly anticipated. This film, the storyline in the comics is one of my favourites. So I was really looking forward to seeing what they did on screen with this. It would be the first time that we saw Ant-Man, Black Panther, and Spider-Man in a Marvel team-up film. Obviously, Ant-Man had his own film, which Paul Rudd was superb in. But it'd be the first time we saw Black Panther and Spider-Man now that Marvel have come to an agreement that Spider-Man can be in their films again, which is very good news. And obviously a new actor. It's not Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire anymore. So we've got a new actor in Tom Holland. And yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they all obviously played out in this film. So yeah, the plot of this film, basically, the UN, the United Nations, have come to the point where they want the Avengers team to sign over their powers to them and become sort of a task force under the UN approval, and they would only go into situations which the UN asked them to, basically. This obviously splits the members of the Avengers. Half of them want to sign and become kind of a licensed and policed force for the UN, whereas half of them don't, because they feel like they won't be able to have the impact or do the good work that they already do on a regular basis anymore. So that obviously splits the team, and that is where the initial seed is dropped, where the civil war within the team is going to occur. Fast forward on a little bit, we have an assassination of a Wakandan king. Wakandan is a big word to use. A crazed former Sokovian army general who wants revenge on the Avengers, the Winter Soldier being framed for murder. So the film's got plenty going for it to keep the audience, entertained and keep them excited about the film. It kept me excited, believe me. Yeah, it had a lot of. It obviously has its main plot, which is the civil war between the Avengers teams wanting to sign over the Sokovian agenda. So. And yeah, obviously, like I said, little kind of subplots with the Winter Soldier and the Wakandan King and the Sokovian General, which is Baron Helmut Zemo, which is a very famous name within Marvel. And yeah, Helmut Zemo obviously plays quite a big part in this film. I won't give away too much because, again, I don't like to do film reviews and spoil everything. I kind of like to keep to the point where I describe what's happened but don't ruin the film for everyone. So I feel like that's the best way to do it. We have a charming little moment where Spider-Man is first introduced in this film. Tony Stark goes to Spider-Man's house in Queens in New York and basically recruits him to his team. It's the first time we meet Tom Holland. It's the first time we see his Spider-Man in action, basically, so that's really cool. And yeah, it sets up the future Spider-Man films pretty well. I'm feeling like Tony Stark might make a little appearance now and again because... further on in this film, Spider-Man's new suit is given to him by Tony Stark, and therefore you can kind of feel like they might make appearances in future films. And yeah, the team has basically been split now. On one side, you've got Captain America's team, which consists of himself, Sam Wilson, which is Falcon, Bucky Barnes, which is, of course, Winter Soldier, Paul Rudd's Ant-Man, Elizabeth Olsen's Scarlet Witch, and the returning Jeremy Renner / Clint Barton / Hawkeye, which is really good because I'm a big Hawkeye fan. I think Jeremy Renner's really good in the Marvel films. I think he's a little bit underrated, so great seeing him back. So that's really good news. Of course, there's an opposing team, which is Iron Man, War Machine, which is Rhodes, Rhodey, whatever you want to call him, Vision, which of course used to be Jarvis, Black Panther, which of course is now the King of Wakanda after his father was assassinated, Spider-Man, which is of course his first appearance in a Marvel film, and Black Widow, who's been in every Marvel film since I think Iron Man 2 now, so that's pretty cool. There's plenty of brawls between the two teams, as you can imagine. The one major battle occurs at an airport, which is probably about 15-minute long battle. Yeah, it's very good, very well shot. Ant-Man plays a big part in it. And when I say big, I mean big part, really big, like that big. So yeah, that's really cool. It's great seeing all the actors come together for one big battle. Seeing Spider-Man and Black Panther and Ant-Man kind of interacting with all the Avengers is it's really interesting to see. It's really cool. Like the fan inside me was kind of wanted to jump up and down, but because we were in a cinema full of people, obviously couldn't do that. But kind of wanted to, kind of wanted to jump up and down and like woo, woo. But, yeah. The film itself takes plenty of crazy little twists and turns. It surprises the audience constantly, and it's a great offering by Marvel. It really is. I really was impressed by this film. I'm impressed with most Marvel films. I think the only one they probably let themselves down with is Iron Man 3 and the second Avengers film, which I didn't think lived up to the hype of the first Avengers film. Same with Iron Man 3, I don't think it lived up to the hype of the first two. But other than that, I don't think Marvel really make bad films. I think they put a lot of effort into their films. They try and stick to the comics as much as they can. And they just try and give the true fans the film that they need and the film that they want, which I think it always pretty much comes off. The soundtrack, as ever, is amazing. I cannot stress this enough, I love Marvel films for their soundtracks. Like the orchestral soundtracks for all the Marvel films are so good. Especially like the Avengers film, the first one. I listened to that album for many, many months just because it's like such a crisp and it's an emotional soundtrack because it really brings you into every storyline. And then you listen to that song, even if you're not watching the film, you listen to it and you know where it came from and you know what part of the film it was from and it brings you straight back to it. Which is good, you know. Obviously, like I say, this film was the first introduction of Spider-Man actor Tom Holland, Ant-Man's Paul Rudd in a group film, and Black Panther in Chadwick Boseman. All three have done incredibly well in this film, I think. I think the Black Panther film really appeals to me now, more so because I've seen Chadwick Boseman in this film. The Spider-Man film, I think, will be good because Tom Holland had a really good display in this one. Ant-Man 2, which I believe is being made, will be really good because Paul Rudd is just a genius, basically. I don't think anything Paul Rudd does is bad. I mean, ever since he got married to Phoebe and Friends, I think he pretty much like solidified himself, you know, as a good man. This film pretty much does everything you want it to and more. It's a great successor to Age of Ultron. Like I say, Age of Ultron wasn't great, but it does a really good job of following on from that. And it sets up the franchise going forward in the future now that it's introduced more characters and we've got more of a backstory and we've learnt more about people now that like Bucky Barnes is part of Captain America's team, and you know we're getting to the point where we're really learning about the characters and their past, and it's a really exciting time to be a fan of Marvel films. It really is. I'm very excited. I might pinch myself. That's how excited I am. But yeah, it's a hugely enjoyable film for both old fans and newer fans. I would flock out and see it if I was you. Like now, literally watch this video and then go out and watch it. It's just comic book action at its best, really, and I'd give it 4.5 stars. I don't think I could ever bring myself to give the film 5 stars because there aren't many films that are, apart from maybe like Saving Private Ryan, and you know, there's a couple of other films, maybe The Godfather. But other than that, it's a solid 4.5 stars. Unlucky not to be 5. It might be 5 if I watch it again. But yeah, it's an amazing film. Really enjoyed it, and hope you will too. And hope you've enjoyed watching this video as well. Hopefully it helps you if you are thinking about seeing this film. And yeah, just leave a like, leave a subscription. Tell me if you've watched the film, what you thought. Tell me if you're going to watch the film. And yeah, I guess I'll catch you next time for the next film review, which, going by current standings, might be X-Men Apocalypse, maybe? I think X-Men Apocalypse might be the next film review, which is good. That's not too far away. Maybe after that, Doctor Strange. Jungle Book, maybe. I'm quite interested in the Jungle Book film. But yeah, thanks for watching this video, and I'll catch you next time. So yeah.